Hello, and welcome to Ghastly Trails. For this episode, we find ourselves at Benane Head, situated on the west coast of Scotland, about 10 minutes outside the town of Girvan, a place believed by many to have been the location of the supposed cave of the legendary cannibal, Sawney Bean. The journey from Girvan offers pleasant coastal views, looking out to the island of Ailsa Craig, an uninhabited island most famous for providing granite for curling stones. The cave lies at the base of a steep cliff. There's parking at the top that's mostly used as a resting place for long distance drivers. After squeezing through a gap in the fence, there's a rough outline of a path that can be followed most of the way down. A word of warning, by the way, for anyone planning on visiting the cave. The descent is treacherous. Once you've made your way down and around the coastal rocks, one final rock must be scaled in order to gain access to the cave. Upon entering the cave, you are first met with an open space that forms the main chamber. Don't forget to take a moment to marvel at the breathtakingly shite graffiti. Towards the rear of the first area is a fork leading to two separate tunnels, only one of which can be entered. Now, if you were expecting to find piles of bones and treasure in the cave, you will be sorely disappointed. The only inhabitants of the cave now are birds and empty Buckfast bottles. As I mentioned earlier, every conceivable blank space of the cave is covered in graffiti. Sadly, however, no one has taken the opportunity to add some much needed cannibal cave paintings. Following through the cave leads to the fork I mentioned earlier, a long and narrow tunnel on the right that even I wasn't stupid enough to try and fit through, and a longer tunnel on the left that leads to a small alcove. Inside here I found evidence of another fire, more rubbish graffiti, and a bird that seemingly didn't give a shit about anything, even a massive torch in its face. And nests, lots and lots of nests. On first inspection the tunnel looks tighter than it is, that's what she said, but if you mind your head it's pretty easy to get through. Coming back into the main cave, we see two metal detectors that I scared the life out of when they entered the cave without knowing someone else was inside. Regardless of whether you believe in the story of Sawney Bean, there's been many documented cases of people having lived in caves in Scotland. Even after it was made illegal to do so in 1915, 55 people were still recorded as living in caves in the 1917 census. There's a belief amongst some that this wasn't the cave of the Sawney Bean Clan, and that his real cave, a much larger cave, can be found a mile or so further along the coast. However, judging by the surrounding rocks and water, if there was another cave, it certainly wouldn't be easy to access. If you're interested in learning the full story of Sawney Bean, please check out our documentary on the legend. I'll include a link in the description down below. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and if you have any requests for other locations from Scotland's dark history that you'd like us to visit, please leave them below in the comments. Thanks for watching, and as always, stay off the moors.